if you want to support the show, any of the shows, either this or whichever show, I'm not on right now because it's just a blanket ad for all of them, and the website, you can go to bewareofspoilers.com. In the description for any of the episodes of Beware of Spoilers, there is the option to donate. If you don't want to donate that way, you can donate directly through the website. We do have that, mwpnews.com. And if you don't want to support that way, then going to mwpnews.com will help out because we have ads there. We don't want to keep it, where there's a lot of ads. There's a few ads. But the point is we want to make it so that way, we can sustain this for the long term. If people donate, we're never going to paywall anything, I don't think, as of right now. But you know, if people start donating, we'll start doing cooler and cooler stuff. Like donations are how we get to cover stuff like Tribeca and other, film festivals. And, we may be able to bring on more people to help out. So if you want to help out the show and you want more content from us, by all means, even just going and giving us a 5-star rating on Spotify helps out a lot. But that's it. That's the only ad we'll have on the podcast ever. But here's whatever podcast you're going to be listening to. Good morning and welcome to Beware of Spoilers. I am Adam. On this, we're still hot and we're still in July and I'm tired and it's been a busy week or so, which is why we didn't have an episode. And we had that new game last week, a Ranger. We had a Ranger last week. This week we're back to our regular schedule. So let's get into I have an announcement first. Let's start there. And for those of you who've been following along on the YouTube channel, we've been doing a Nuzlocke run of Pokemon Red, the original Pokemon Red that's been randomized. We're going to be adding new content to the YouTube channel. And I believe we're going to start this in September. Some of it's still up in the air, because some of it is still a work in progress on the recording front, because I'm the one playing all the games. It's just me. And so doing it, editing it, all that, I want to get a few weeks out before I start doing anything, and I want to move through it that way. And we did have a slight technical issue with one of the games, due to the fact that my laptop, as you can probably hear right now, it's one of these gaming laptops that has great processing power, but the fans suck. So we have a few games we're going to be adding to the list. Pokemon Red will be running through, I think, November, by the time that wraps up. Then after that, we're going to be doing Pokemon Gold. Similar thing, randomizing it and going through that way. The difference is Red, I downloaded a pre-randomized ROM. For Gold, we're going to be doing a one that I randomized myself. Where I'm going to be using a thing to randomize it. We'll be going based on that. The same goes for my other two. Alternating weeks, we're going to be doing a Chaos Run, which is something that I'm sure someone else has done it. I'm sure I'm not the first one to come up with this idea, because there are options in the software to do it. It's not a Nuzlocke because it's a very difficult run to do. You randomize everything in the game, the Pokemon, the items, all that stuff. But you also randomize the move sets and the types and the abilities. So everything's kind of a crapshoot. And it's so that we're not gonna do Nuzlocke rules because you can't plan for it. It's very difficult in that regard. Then the other thing we're gonna be doing is a randomized run of Heart Gold. It's gonna be Heart Gold version. This one's a little bit more annoying because the thing I'm running it in is a little bit finicky at times. And because it's finicky, there is an issue where every once in a while it's kind of it's a data leak or something, or a memory leak where it just kind of stops working right, and your avatar will, or your player will disappear, and certain things just won't work, and then you got to restart it. So that's another one we're working on. We'll see how that goes. That's going to be a catch-all challenge where we're going to catch all 492 Pokemon before taking on Red at the top of Mount Silver. That's the goal there. Um, then we have other games we're going to be filling in along the way. We have one is going to be not Pokemon, Sonic Adventure 2 Battle. We're going to be doing. Let's see if we can get to all the emblems in the game. That's one of the games that we have. We have Stardew Valley, where just to be a casual kind of playthrough, starting a new farm. We're going to play through that. That one I've had some technical glitches on because it's my first time screen recording Stardew Valley, and there was a glitch with the built-in Xbox overlay, which caused a little bit of an issue. And then finally, Madden. And this is one that I've been looking forward to. What I did was I started a new season, and this new season I am the owner. I have relocated the worst team in the league last year after taking control of the team. I guess Tapper threw one too many drinks on people, and now he has lost control of the team. I've now taken over. We've relocated the Carolina Panthers to the city of Paris. We are the Paris Monarchs, and we have done a fantasy draft. The entire league has done a fantasy draft. So I have an entire team of people I've picked. I've got a few good players. I may have used a very early draft pick on Tommy DeVito for a joke. Who knows? We'll see. And we will be doing all of that, and then we'll be running through that season. That is going to start in September, about the week of the football season beginning. So it should run parallel to the football season. With that, because there are only 17 weeks, we're going to fall a week behind. And then if I don't make the playoffs, which is entirely possible, considering the team is okay, but there's a lot of things that aren't great about the team. Uh, as you can tell, my backup quarterback is Tommy DeVito. I have another backup quarterback. Don't worry. Tommy DeVito is not the second string quarterback. He's the third. I just wanted him on the team. So I used an unreasonably high draft pick to take him. And I do have a few good players. We'll talk about it when we get to when we get to that. And I think we're going to do a more structured approach to that, where it's going to be like the fantasy draft episode and the relocation episode is going to be more like we're going to play through it, and it's going to be more of a hard knock style thing, where we're going to talk about where we are in the draft, what the choices are, why we're going to do each, and all of that. So that's where we are on that. And then after that, it'll just be playing through each week. We'll be skipping the bye week. We'll just keep playing through. And then if I don't make the playoffs, then we go into off season. Then we continue from there. And if the people like it, then we'll continue doing it. If not, then we'll try something else. There are a few other things that I have in the canister. Or that we're working on. We're working on Civilization. We're going to be doing runs of. We're going to be doing a Legacy challenge run of The Sims 2. And I think we're also going to do that for Sims 3 and Sims 4, whatever versions that I already have, because I'm not paying more for them, unless the Sims 2 one really catches on. Where each episode will be one generation, where we tell the story of what happened in each generation, and we just kind of move through that way. For 10 episodes. And yeah, I mean, we got a lot of cool stuff on it. It's all be on the YouTube channel. If you go to youtube.com/the@MWP news, that's where all that's going to be. You can subscribe there. Subscribing there would help us out a lot. Now, on to today's topic of conversation, which is a game that I wanted to do, but it's going to be capture card dependent, because I do enjoy this game a lot. It is Pokemon Battle Revolution. And this is a game that came out for the Wii in 2007, and I only know that because I bought this game with the money I got for my confirmation. I bought this game, and I bought Guitar Hero 3 for the Wii, and both of which I played the fuck out of. This game was very much like Stadium, where you import your Pokemon from your handheld game, in this case Diamond and Pearl, and then you would play you did challenges with them. It didn't pull any out. It's not like it just copied your data and did it that way. And there was a series of stadiums that you had to play through, each with their own little rule set. Um, and then you had to get to and you had to, beat everyone and then get to the final boss. Um, I think that this is a fun game. I think that as a battle simulator, it probably holds up the best. It's still pretty fun. If you go through, and this is why we're not doing it, I have to find a copy or find my copy and then figure out how to get my Wii working and all of that. It's just a whole headache. Um, the issue with this becomes like, if you're not doing this with your game or with your copy of Diamond or Pearl with your Pokemon that are all set, it's very hard to clear the game to 100%. And this is a way to get a cool Magmortar, and Electivire, and you can send things to your games, like items and stuff. I think that a lot of the stadiums are really well designed. The Waterfall Stadium and the Neon Casino-y one really stand out, and the Galaxy one at the end. I do love all of that. I think that this game does lack a lot, especially when compared to the other games of its ilk. Your Stadium and your Stadium 2. There's no mini games. There's no emulator to play the base game in. There's no, it's you want to battle. This is it, and this is kind of a continuation of a trend we start to see around this era with the Pokemon games, where um, they do tend to, as they go along, go more content light. And because they're more content light at times, it does leave you in a place where you're like, oh well, what was my incentive to do this? And I think that here it's like, okay, so we're gonna play it. This is arguably the best that 3D Pokemon has ever looked. Um, I would say arguably, I would say it is the best the 3D Pokemon's ever looked. I think the battle animations here and all of that look better than even Scarlet and Violet. I mean, granted, this is strictly a battle simulator, so and there's no walking or anything like that. So, yes, there's less processing that needs to be done, so they could put more effort into that. But still, this is the best that has ever looked and probably ever will look. Like, I think this is going to be the first real case of it being tough to rank it because, like, let's go to our rankings real quick. And I think the rule we're going to go with for these are we're going to pretend like the game came out now. Or the game came out back, what's it called? We're going to review it as if the game came out today. Or, no. As if today is 2007 and we're playing the game for the first time. That's, I think, the best way to do it. I think it's the most fair. I think that, well, no, we can't do that. We can't do that. Because I think the issue is, then red and blue should be higher. Although, theoretically, the things that come after it should come above it. If it's an improvement. It's tough. It's really tough because I think for what it was in 2007, this is a really fun game. And I think that if I were to go back and play if I go back and play it now, it still has that same level of fun, and you still get that same kind of, you know, experience to it, where it's like, look, we're battling, and you're doing that, and it still looks great. Therefore, visually it holds up, and that's kind of the biggest selling point of the game. Therefore, this should remain as high up as it was. So let's take a look at where we are. Plus, we're also ranking it only against games that came out before it. So I think that it's fair to just say let's just go based on how we'd rank it right now, because we're not ranking it against games that haven't come out yet. So number 25, we have Hey You Pikachu. Number 24, we have Pokemon Dash. Number 23, we have the original Pinball. Number 22, we have Pokemon Channel. Number 21, we have Puzzle Challenge and Puzzle League. Number 20, we have the trading card game. Number 19, we have Trozy. Number 18, we have Diamond and Pearl. Number 17, we have Platinum. Number 16, we have Red and Blue. Number 15, we have Stadium. Number 14, we have Stadium 2. Number 13, we have Snap. Number 12, we have Yellow. Number 10, we have Gold and Silver. And back onto the other page. Number 10, we have Crystal. Number 9, we have Ranger. Number 8, we have Pinball, Ruby, and Sapphire. Number 7, we have Fire Red and Leaf Green. Number 6, we have Coliseum. Number 5, we have XD. Number 4, we have Ruby and Sapphire. Number 3, we have Emerald. Number 2, we have Mystery Dungeon, Blue, and Red Rescue Team. And number 1, we have Heart Gold and Soul Silver. Now, I think the safe thing to do is to put it around. Let's start with the 3s, because that's the thing. Knowing what I know now, I probably wouldn't have paid full price for this game, because I don't think that the base game add-on of having Electivire and Magmortar, and then the other purchasable things that you can send via mystery gifts to your game, makes it worth anything more than that. So we'll start at the threes. So the threes are number 19 Trozy to number 13 Snap. I think that we can definitively say this is not. We get into the fundamental question: what's more important, gameplay options or graphics? And that's kind of the weird place we are right now. I think a good place to put this is smack between Stadium and Stadium 2 at our new number 15. Because at the end of the day, Battle Revolution is a perfectly serviceable battle simulator. And it does the battle simulating very well. If you're looking for anything else, you need a different game. And that's kind of the position this puts you in, where you're like, okay, but what about, how does that work? I think this is a fundamentally, it's fun enough, but I don't think that it is, anything beyond the battle simulator. That's done very well, don't get me wrong. And I think it only gets the leg up over Stadium because of the graphical upgrades, even though I think that, it's an improvement there, but not quite an improvement over Stadium 2. So that's our number 3, that's our new number 15. Our next episode will be next week. We will be doing Pokemon Rumble, which is a game that I actually really love. It's another one we'll be talking about for a little bit. So until our next episode, have a great rest of your week.